So yesterday we heard 5 NBA teams being listed by Mark Stein as potential suitors in a Ben Simmons trade, and today we have a little bit more insight into one of those teams, the Sacramento Kings, and to what they might be willing to give up in a Ben Simmons trade. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Perfect. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome back on into Philly Take with RB. You know what to do. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe if you are new to the channel, and be sure to hit that notification bell. That way you are immediately notified anytime I upload or go live. Doing all of those things really does help out us content creators, so I really do appreciate it. I would also like to announce that the first ever Philly Take with RB merch line is now out. Go ahead and check out the merch store on Teesprings. The link is down in the description. Thank you so much. And today we have some Ben Simmons and Sacramento Kings rumors to talk about. Yes, that is right. As of this morning, there was an article dropped by a journalist named Jason Anderson. He is a writer for the Sacramento Bee, covers all things Sacramento Kings. And in this article, he talked a little bit more about what the Kings may be willing to give up, what they are refusing to give up, and what the Sixers most likely are interested in. So as we look at this article, Jason Anderson says that the potential for a deal is there. The Sixers are reportedly seeking an all-star caliber player in return, as we all know. AaronFox would probably fit the description, but sources have maintained that the Kings are highly unlikely to trade their dynamic 23-year-old point guard. And as the article goes on, Jason Anderson goes on to say that the Kings will be looking to put Simmons in a front court position in a lineup featuring AaronFox, Tyrese Haliburton, Harrison Barnes, and possibly Richaun Holmes if they're able to keep him. The addition of Ben Simmons would immediately improve a team that finished 30th in the NBA last season in defensive rating and rebounding, which is exactly, what they need. That's what Ben Simmons is going to provide as of right now. And, obviously they're going to try to bank on fixing his offense. Sacramento probably would be willing to offer a package that includes Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley III, and one or more future first-round draft picks. One league source recently told the Sacramento Bee that the Kings would have to send a minimum of 3 first-round picks to the Sixers in a trade constructed around Hield and Bagley. Another source said the Sixers wouldn't be interested unless Fox or Haliburton were included in the trade, but Hield's elite three-point shooting and Bagley's unrealized potential could be appealing if a better deal doesn't materialize. Now, I have a lot of thoughts on this. First and foremost, I do agree with the source that is saying that the Philadelphia 76ers will not pull any type of trigger on this trade unless AaronFox or Tyrese Haliburton is included. Now, we know, right? AaronFox is a young 23-year-old point guard on the come up. This guy continues to get better. He averaged 25 points a game last season. He's working on his shot. The one thing about him, his confidence is off the charts. He continues to attack. He's great going downhill. And for being a bit of an undersized guard, he's going to do a lot of different things free. He's going to play hard, and he's blossoming into a great young point guard in the league. And in addition to him, Tyrese Haliburton, if you know or watched any of my draft stuff last year, I was really high on Tyrese Haliburton as he fell outside of the top 10. I was just hoping for a way that the Sixers could move up and try to get him. He crosses off all the boxes, right? He's lengthy, he's athletic, he sees the floor at an unbelievable type of pace. And at the same time, he can knock down shots from 40% from deep. He's just that all-around guard. He could play on the ball. He can play off. He literally can play the 1 or the 2 on any different team. Tyrese Haliburton is going to be a stud in this league. I firmly believe that. And I understand why the Sacramento Kings would not want to go out and trade Fox or Haliburton. But you know what? Here we are at this point. And like I say for the Sixers, you have to give to get. So a lot of people have been proposing these trades recently for AaronFox. I've been saying I don't believe it at all. The Kings just went out and gave AaronFox a 5-year max extension, $163 million, and that hasn't even begun yet. So why would they then go out and trade this guy if they truly believe in him? I know they have a plethora of young guards, but realistically, the more probable probable name that was mentioned in this article is Buddy Hield, right? We know that he's been on the trade block for how long now? Maybe a year, 2 years. You know, there's been all these rumors linking Buddy Hield out of Sacramento. We were talking about him potentially coming to Philly last year. Marvin Bagley would obviously be thrown in there as kind of a cat matcher. And, you know, he hasn't really filled out his duties there in Sacramento. It's time for kind of a shift in his career. It's just not going to work there. In terms of a Sixers trade that includes Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley and 3 first-round picks, I'm saying absolutely no to that. The Sixers need to come out and get an all-star player. That's what they want in return. And just, to sell Ben Simmons at this point for that price just does not make any sense at all. If you're talking to AaronFox and somehow that was, to come about and come to life, I'm considering that trade. I really am. AaronFox would come in here. He's a, little shifty point guard, and he's just going to do everything that we need. He can run the pick and roll with Joel Embiid, and is AaronFox ready to be a championship point guard next year? I don't know, but I would say it's sometime pretty soon, man. I mean, he continues to improve his game, and he just looks like he's going to become one of the next great point guards in this league. He gets better and better each year. And if Tyrese Haliburton, if the Kings were to throw something like Tyrese Haliburton and Buddy Hield and first-round picks, I'm at least thinking about that offer. I'm not saying I would definitely do that, but I'm definitely thinking about that because I really do believe in Tyrese Haliburton. Maybe not next year, but I know Buddy Hield could come in here. If the Sixers were to pull a trade like this, they would, maybe be able to flip those first round picks and then go get a subsequent star. And maybe that's how you build out your team there. But I think this is kind of just a trade offer that you throw in your back pocket and you say, okay, well, if we go and because, Daryl Morey, like I said yesterday, is going to target the biggest trade offers that are out there, right? As soon as these players start to request out, say Dame requests out or Bradley Beal, Daryl Morey's going to be all on top of that because he knows the pressure is on. He knows we need one of those superstars, those big names. If we get to, the middle of the offseason, if we're getting near the end and we still haven't pulled a trade, this is a kind of trade offer that you take out of your back pocket and say, okay, well, at least we can value this now and weight it against others. But at the end of the day, the Sacramento Kings are crazy if they think they're going to get Ben Simmons without including AaronFox or Tyrese Haliburton. Without one of those two, without a young promising guard that can play the 1 or 2, or a young point guard that is, blossoming into maybe one of the best in the league in a few years, it's not going to happen. Jason Anderson also talks in the article about how Daryl Morey and Monty McNair, the GM of the Kings, worked together for 13 years in Houston. So maybe, there's some ties there. They could get a deal done. But at the end of the day, the Sixers need to be in championship contention next year. And honestly, the only way the Sixers may think about this trade is if the Kings were to throw out AaronFox, but I simply just don't see that happening based off of what I just talked about and how they paid him and all that. So at the end of the day, the Kings will probably be kind of like a mid-tier offer for me. And at the same time, I just think that although Buddy Hield would be a solid player for the Sixers, how does he then go ahead and fit alongside Seth Curry, right? Seth Curry would then probably have to become a 6-man and come off the bench, because it would just be hard to play those two in the same lineup. Marvin Bagley, I know he needs a fresh start, but I really don't think Philly is the place for that. He's a, pretty much a 4 that is trying to develop that shot in his game, but he still has some time to go. He'll grab you some boards and he'll play good defense. But at the end of the day, I just don't think Bagley works here really at all. And that's why I'm just saying that this trade doesn't really make too much sense as proposed right now for the Philadelphia 76ers. What would you guys think about this potential trade offer? What would you think if the Kings were to include AaronFox, Tyrese Haliburton? Would you settle for Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley? Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.